Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Sunday, November 12th, 2023. Joshua trees are a species under threat. Wildfires sparked from careless activity spread further and faster in the desert than in years past due to invasive species, and climate change brings hotter and drier seasons. This can spell trouble for a species that can take decades for their seedlings to grow to full-size trees that we see in higher elevations here in the Morongo Basin. Recent fires in the Mojave National Preserve have devastated thousands of acres of Joshua Tree forest. The Cima Dome fire in 2020 scorched over 70 square miles of Joshua Tree and other native plants. The National Park Service estimates over 1 million trees were burned in that fire alone. I live a few miles from the national park, and I'm lucky enough to have Joshua trees on my property, alongside a multitude of volunteers, as my mom would call them, baby Joshua trees that have sprouted up on their own from seed. I contacted Joshua Tree National Park Ranger Sasha Travaglio to see if there is a way for the NPS to accept donations of these trees for reforestation efforts. She informed me that the National Park Service can't accept donations of any plant life, as it's difficult to verify the correct species of plant, especially in the case of Joshua trees, which actually have 2 different subspecies here in the Mojave Desert. The Joshua tree here in the Morongo Basin and throughout the national park is the Yucca brevifolia, or the western Joshua tree. This larger variety has long leaves and it only branches out after creating their large, distinct, waxy white flowers. The Joshua trees in the Cima Dome and Mojave National Preserve are a smaller and less dense variety called the Yucca brevifolia jaegerina, or eastern Joshua tree. These can branch without flowering and tend to stay smaller than their western counterparts. Before the 1.6 million acre Mojave National Preserve was established in 1994, there were no protected populations of the eastern Joshua tree. Reforestation efforts are being made by the NPS and other organizations like the Mojave Desert Land Trust, but making sure the species and seeds used are correct for the area's native ecosystem is paramount to conserving the natural order of things. So instead of donating any seedlings I find, I give them a little extra water and space to grow. I like imagining them growing tall long after I'm gone, providing shade and beauty to a part of the earth that I was lucky enough to call my home for a brief moment in time. You can do the same on your property, and if you're interested in helping out with volunteer efforts for conservation and reforestation of both the western and eastern Joshua tree, you can see stories for links on our website, z1077fm.com. 2 commercial developments being considered for Joshua Tree are currently in the San Bernardino County's public comment phase. Here with the details on the 2 projects is News Director Jeff Harmatz.
The first project, called Joshua Tree Camp, is a campsite featuring 4 geodome structures proposed for a 2.4-acre parcel. The developers of this project are seeking a conditional use permit from the county. The second project is a 30,000 square foot self-storage facility on a 2.3-acre site on the east side of town. The developers are seeking a minor use permit from the county. To learn more about and weigh in on both of these projects, you can visit this story at z1077fm.com.
Thanks, Jeff. And that's your Sunday news. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the Z107.7 News team, I'm Robert Hayden.